Hey everybody, Lorelia here doing a video on Friday, Financial Freedom Friday. And so I'm titling this video, Are You Recession Proof? And what do I mean by that? Well, it depends on what you are tuned into, what you are following, what you believe. And I decided to do this video because I recently saw someone that I respect a lot. I consider him a coach of mine. I've invested in working with him, and he made a very good point. And he said that you have the choice to participate in a recession. Do you understand that? You have a choice. And a lot of people truly don't think they have a choice. They don't believe that they can choose to thrive in this current pandemic, recession, or they believe that they have no control over what it is that's going on with their life, and they're just going with the flow. And so that's why I'm asking you this question: are you recession proof? Because what I mean when I ask the question of are you recession proof, do you really have control of your finances? Today is Friday, Financial Freedom Friday, whatever you want to call it. Do you have a means to financially sustain yourself regardless of what's going on? Are you that person who is sitting around waiting on a stimulus check? Even though on this channel I've given tips and strategies on how to get the EIDL, how to get the PPP, but are you running your business, or are you running your life? Because your personal life is an enterprise, whether you believe it or not. Your personal life is an enterprise. Are you running it efficiently, or are you allowing the machine to run it? Are you allowing the machine? And what do I mean by the machine? Meaning that you truly haven't really bought into the fact that you really have the choice, that even if you don't like what your job is paying you, or even if you do not like what your current financial circumstance is, you have the ability to change. Even on this channel, I talk about credit, business credit, personal credit. If you're someone who's been working towards trying to get business credit, trying to get business funding, trying to invest in real estate to use that money to leverage, but you're still talking about how your personal credit still needs some work, what are you doing? It's too much free game. I know right here on this channel I have over 500 plus videos just on those topics: personal credit, business credit, and that doesn't include what's out there on the internet. Now, once again, I'm not one to say what's on the internet is good. You have to choose. You have to know to eat the chicken and throw the bones out and make your choice. But at the end of the day, what are you plugged into? What is it that you can do to really change the trajectory of your life? Because understand, things are moving, deals are happening. I know right now I'm awaiting to close on a real estate deal, working on others. Got the marketing going in terms of, I do a lot of direct mail when it comes to real estate, along with what I do with business credit, still working with individuals, helping people secure funding for deals. And there are plenty of people looking for money. And get this, the same way that there are people out there looking for money, there are lenders who are looking to lend. This whole week I've been doing an online training with a lender that I work with, and they've been doing 2-hour trainings talking about the product suite and the funding suite that they are putting out in the marketplace to help people get access to funding. Don't believe the hype. Because see, I'm going to do a video possibly tonight, if not tomorrow, but I want to talk about the correlation between the fintech industry and the traditional banking. And so a lot of times when you hear in the news about money drying up, credit drying up, understand a lot of that information that's being put out there is in regards to traditional banks. But there are other lending sources, because I came across a video that I did about a year ago, and I said that wealth is built through debt. And that is true. Because I know you may be wondering, well, really, if the traditional banks are saying when a credit squeeze, they're not lending, how are there institutions that are out there lending? Well, that's where the fintech industry comes in. Those institutions are lending. That's why I said now is the time to really study economics. See, when you study economics, economics can be made up of, the credit, how credit works, how debt works, how the banking industry works, what's going on in the U.S. economy, what's going on in the world economy, what is going on with real estate, what is going on with commodities. When you really try to study all those things, along with making sure that you are producing a consistent income, sky's the limit. That's when you have a choice. But when you sit back and you decide not to do nothing, that is where you can fall prey to participating in a recession. Because understand, you have a choice. There are people thriving, and there are some people who are just surviving. And this is not to make a mockery or make fun of those who are just getting by. But understand, the most downtrodden, financially hurting person has a smartphone in their hand. How do I know? Because the government will give you one for free. That's right. They are giving phones away to low-income folks, to people who are just making it. So if you are that downtrodden, that financially destitute, but you have a smartphone in your hand, plug into something that's different than what it is that you may be used to looking at, but now you want to decide to look at something else different, and you now want to take part in learning how resources, financial resources, come together, the financial ecosystem, studying it, understanding how does it make an impact on you. I did a video talking about the moratoriums, the mortgage moratoriums, the renting moratoriums. The sad thing is that there are some people in life who will always lose with financial circumstances, and then there are some people who will win. I know earlier this week I had a consultation with a lady, and she said that back in 2008 she had accumulated a lot of real estate, and at that time she had lost it. And so, but of course she's getting back on her feet again. And once again, it's many stories that's out there of people saying the financial struggles that they went through during 2008. My story is always different, because I tell people that's actually when I got started in real estate. That's actually when I started to learn about wholesaling, when I did my first deal. So, and I was wholesaling REO, bank-owned properties. So the same way that people were losing them, I was wholesaling them, and I was doing a double close. See, a lot of the stuff that's talking about now, I was doing that back then in 2008. That was pre-social media. Maybe MySpace was around. I'm not sure. I wasn't on that platform. But this was pre-social media, pre-Facebook. YouTube was probably in its infancy stages. And I say all that to say, here was something that was a national pandemic here in the U.S. And for some people, it was an opportunity. It was an opportunity for myself. So I say this. That's why I ask a question. Are you participating in a recession? Because if you are, check yourself. Don't participate. You have a choice. Plug into something different. I know starting next week, I'm going to be doing live webinars talking about funding, talking about leveraging credit, how you can use that in real estate. And so I challenge you, if you're not, if you're stuck with still trying to figure out how does it work, how do you leverage credit, how do you use business credit, how do you use those sources to really get started in real estate, I'm going to talk about those things. I'm going to be having weekly webinars, and so I challenge you to plug in, get some free game, because a lot of times things are just, some things you need to learn because it's just based on exposure. Some people are just not exposed to it. And I'm going to be doing some videos later this week talking about, a lot of times you can get a lot of information but still don't know how to put it all together. So if you're interested in getting access to these free webinars that I'm going to be doing, once again, you got to be on my email communication list. I challenge you, go to helpmegetbizcredit.com. After this video, I'll put a link below, and like I said, make a choice. You decide. If you know, don't participate in a recession, and I'm going to show you how you don't have to. How you could truly tap into sources which will allow you to not participate. So once again, this is Lorelia, and I'll talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.